All right, welcome to our Forex Fundamentals, the Trader Mindset live workshop. We're going to really focus here on a few things that are extremely important in terms of the mindset, the way we should be thinking, how we should be acting, how we should be applying ourselves. A lot of us here are actually struggling with that as we speak, and I see it day in, day out. All right. There are specific things that you need to take into consideration when trading. And the mindset just doesn't cover your mind itself or just your mind as a whole, but there are certain things, practices, processes, procedures that we need to adhere to, which is going to allow our mindset to be in that right frame of mind. Okay, so let's take a look and see what it's all about. And I hope for most of you, if not all of you, this is that turning point, right? Because everything we learn and everything we expose ourselves to is going to give us some form of education. So let's see if this can be that turning point for some, where they say, you know what, actually that's where I'm going wrong. Because if you can identify and highlight that, then it will make a huge difference for your trading career. Throughout this lesson, we will be looking at the right trading mindset. So we'll understand what the right trading mindset is built of and how it can be applied. And then we'll have a look at the trader mindset topics of focus. So there are certain things that I need you guys to focus on, and that's what's going to help you have that right mindset. All right, you can't do anything in this world, anything in life, whether it's build a friendship, work a job, start a new career. You can't do any of that without having the right mindset. You will not succeed. Right? This isn't just about trading, but in general. Right? The right mindset will give you the tools that you need, or allow you to use the tools that you need correctly, so you can then trade like a professional trader and become consistent and become profitable. And there are things that we're going to see along the way where you will stop and say, actually, I've heard Andrew say that, and I'll stop when we get there and I'll say, I've said that before, and you'll understand why I keep saying the things that I do. And then you have a look and say, all right, well, if he says these things, he must practice these things. If he practices these things, then there's going to be results. And look, there's been some tough times in trading. There's some been great times in trading, but consistency will come if you apply exactly what we're about to learn here now. And you're not going to have solid wins every day or every week for weeks on end or even days on end if you're not with the right mindset. Okay, so if you have that right mindset, you will see consistency in your wins. It's not just the strategy, it's about knowing how to act while you are trading, and even while you are not trading and waiting to trade. What does trader mindset refer to? Excuse me. Okay, it's an established set of attitudes and beliefs that are held by us as traders. All right, application of these attitudes and beliefs is what's going to make you and us and anyone in general that wants to trade successful in trading. If you do not have the right trading mindset, you will fail. And that's not to be taken lightly. You will 100% fail. This is the most important thing you possess as a trader. Go to any organization, go to any self-proclaimed amazing Forex trader. They're going to give you all of this information about trading. They're going to give you all of this information about strategies, but they're not going to give you information about how to have the right mindset. That comes from you. That comes from within. You can't teach that to a person. You can guide them, but they're still going to be doing what they believe is right or wrong to them, right? I can tell people, do this is the right way to do it, and I've done it on several occasions, to then find out that they're doing the complete opposite. So I can't do anything other than tell you what I think is right and wrong and how to have that mindset. You then have to go out there and practice it and do it yourself, right? Because if you don't, you will fail. The trading mindset is something you need to start working on right now. So at this instant, at this moment that you're watching this video, or you're watching this live training session, or you're watching this live workshop, whatever you want to call it, right? You need to start working on it right now, even before you started to learn a trading strategy. Obviously, you guys here have all got the strategies, you've got access to them, you've seen me trade them. You now need to start working on that mindset. All right, strategy alone is not enough. A positive trading mindset will need to be continually improved and protected throughout your life as a trader. Now, one very good example here is we've gone through how many days, weeks, and months with this pandemic. Plenty. I can sit here and tell you that there isn't one specific trading mindset that we just had and we applied and we used. Our mindset changed. Every single trade we had and every single week we experienced volatility in the markets, our mindset was changing. We were trying to continually improve. We were trying to adapt. We were trying to understand how, what, where, and why. You don't just come in, say, I've got the right mindset, and then have that for the rest of your life or your trading career. It doesn't work like that. All right. You're going to experience an emotional roller coaster throughout every single trade that you do. Now, imagine when you have a series of losing trades. What happens at that point? Your mindset will change. You will feel sad. You will feel upset. You will feel like you haven't achieved anything. And if you get to that point, what happens? You start to make emotional decisions. Continually improving and protecting your mindset is crucial if you want to have consistency in trading and profitability. If you want to trade with the big guns, right? There's some big guys out there, some people that throw a lot of money around, people making big trades. You have to act like a big gun. You can't come in here and start playing in the game of Forex trading and expect to be someone or something if you don't act like the guys that are making something or doing something. You got to understand there are certain things that these guys are doing that you're not. This is why you are not successful, or you are not making money, or you are not consistent, or you are not profitable. Stop behaving like a child in the markets. And when I say stop behaving like a child, I mean stop making erratic decisions. Stop thinking about how much money you can make. Stop throwing a tantrum or becoming upset when you have a loss. Don't become overly excited when you have a win. There are certain things that you need to do and you need to be in control of in order for you to start acting and becoming like these big guns. So if you're finding yourself becoming very emotional and you're acting like a child, or your maturity levels are increasing or decreasing based on your experiences in your trades, then maybe stop, take a second, breathe, and say, okay, I feel like I might be doing the wrong thing from a personal, from an emotional, from a mindset perspective. I need to stop that, right? Because if I don't, I'm not going to be sitting in the big chair with the big guys. That's just a fact, right? There's a reason why they're sitting in that big chair. Time to get yourself sorted if you want to compete with the big guns of the trading world. There is a handful of successful people. A handful. When I say a handful, I say a handful. And I say that because every single other person that's in this industry that trades Forex behaves like a child. And when they behave like a child, they lose. Children and immature individuals never win. People that don't know how to deal with their emotions never win. Right? We can all say that we have moments. It happens, day-to-day life, work, relationships, friendships, whatever it may be in life. We do experience a roller coaster of emotions. If we fall victim to our emotions, we're not going to end up in the right place at the right time. We will end up in trouble. We might not get the outcome that we want. And that's exactly what happens when we talk about trading. All right. If you are a constant winner and you start to become a little bit too overconfident, your mindset has changed into this, let's say, cocky individual who thinks that they know everything. At some point, you're going to lose. And guess what? The fall is going to be harder. If you are a constant loser, your mindset is going to be in the dumps. Get yourself out of the dumps, get yourself sorted, start thinking like somebody that is a professional, start thinking like somebody that is successful, and you will become that person. There is no other route to trading success other than taking a cold, hard look at yourself in the mirror and deciding if your current trading behavior and mental processes are pushing you in the right or wrong direction. Only you can determine that by looking at yourself and understanding what you're doing. I do it every day. I look at my trades and I don't have to stand there and physically talk to myself in the mirror, but I look, where did I go wrong? Why did I go wrong there? Maybe I shouldn't do this many trades. Maybe I need to stop at this point. You see, and you've seen over the last, very profitable trading weeks that we've had, I make calls. I say, no, we're not doing this, or we're closing this, or we need to practice this, whether it's patience or discipline. And all of these things are not there because it's written on a piece of paper in front of me that's saying when the guys come online, tell them that they need to do this. No, it's because I know that that's what works. I need to wait and be patient. I had people messaging me on a Monday, I want to trade, and I'm just looking at all these trade ideas and setups, and I just get to a point now where you can't tell people not to do certain things. You know that you've already taught them that they're going to still do what they want. I didn't trade all day Monday. I started trading on Tuesday. I had people that were very, very worried and concerned that a lot of trades were in the red. Patience. Have faith in your strategy. Be disciplined enough to not allow your emotions to get the better of you. And at the end of the week, we became successful. We had one loss out of the 12 or 13 trades that we had. So that goes to show that this isn't just about a strategy and getting in at the right place at the right time. Throughout that whole week, I had to manage a certain mindset. I had to have a certain mindset. And if I didn't have that mindset, we would be on the other side. We would be 1 win and 12 losses. And we're going to understand that when we get through. All right, what are the main topics of focus when it comes to the trader mindset? All right, there are certain things that you need to be aware of when we're talking about the trader mindset. First up, mental strength. All right, we're not going to go too much into these because we're going to go through a few other slides that focus on all of this stuff, but we're going to have a look at the main topics of focus. Mental strength. If you don't have a strong mind, and that's not just in trading, but with anything you do in life, you will not move forward. Mental strength is crucial. This is probably even harder because you've got money on the line, and your emotional attachment to your finances is going to be moving you a lot more than if you had, let's say, an argument with your friend. You cannot talk to your friend for 3 months, but if you lost $3, you'd be extremely upset. All right, so make sure you put that in the back of your mind. Mental strength, very, very important. Accountability. You have a strategy, you have a plan, you have a set of rules. You have a guy that sits here in front of you on a live screen and says to you, do this and do that, don't do this and don't do that. Follow. If you follow and you do everything as per the rules, you are becoming accountable. If you cannot trade because you are going to sleep, or you cannot manage your trade and everybody wins and you lose, accountability. You need to stop and you need to say to yourself, okay, I cannot and I will not put myself again in a situation where I know that I can't manage my trade, because if I lose, I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. Remain accountable. Tick every single box. There is a reason why we have a set of rules and a system in place. State of mind. You need to be in the right state of mind. Happy, accomplished, on the right track. Everything that gives you that positive energy coming out of your mind and your brain is extremely crucial. State of mind. If you are not in a good state of mind, do not trade. I've had plenty of people message me over my, many years of, offering these services here, and they've said, I'm not trading this week. I'm not trading next week. I just feel like I'm not in the right mindset. And the only thing I say to those people is, you know what? Good on you. Good on you for recognizing and realizing that you don't feel good. And if you don't feel good, then you know that your decisions aren't going to be good. So if you can recognize that, and I appreciate that people tell me, because I do know who's here, who's there, and who's not available. But when I see that, and people say that to me, I genuinely am happy at the fact that they have recognized that, because they're taking time out to calm themselves, or to control themselves, or to just get to a good place in life, or in their mind. Belief structure. These guys aren't going to jump out of a plane if they didn't believe that their parachutes were going to work, or they didn't believe that they were going to land. All right, this is extremely risky. This isn't just $3 on the line now. They're talking lives on the line. All right. Belief structure. Make sure you believe in what you do. How many times have you guys messaged, or people have come to me and said, oh man, like we're in the red, what do we do? Or I'm struggling to understand right now because all I see is red. What my response to all of you people is, every single one of you, is believe in your system. Believe in what you do. I know what I do works, right? If I stick to it, I'm going to actually make the results and the returns that I want. There are going to be some occasions that it doesn't work out. That's okay. It's the nature of the game, right? But on most occasions it will. Why? Because I have belief in what I do. I believe that it works. I believe that I've assessed the market correctly. I've put my levels in the right spots. And now I feel comfortable. Whatever the outcome is, the outcome will be. I can't control that. I can control believing that everything I've done is right. All right. Have that belief structure in place. Some of you guys here have seen I've gone down to half a pip off stop loss, turn around to be a winner. I can tell you, if I wasn't here guiding any of you guys, most of you would have stopped it out even half a pip before. You would have said, this is gone, I'm going to close it. And you close it, and then everybody else wins it, turns around. So that comes not from anything other than literally just believing and saying, you know what, I'm going to believe right until the end, until I get to a point where it hits my stop loss. But even then, at that point, I still believe that my system worked. Why? Because my stop loss was in the right place to protect me as well. All right. I believe that if price got to that point and it stopped me out, I've done the right thing. I believe in my system. I believe in my structure. Allow it to do what it needs to do. And a daily routine. All right. If you don't have a daily routine, you don't know what your next move is. Do you eat? Do you sleep? Do you go for a run? Do you trade? What do you do? Have a system in place that tells you what time you're waking up, what time you're looking at the markets, when are you trading, when are you not trading. You need to have a routine. Are you going to the gym? You need to make sure that every single one of those specific day-to-day tasks that you have are written down at somewhere, at some point, on your computer, on your desk, wherever it may be. All right? Because if you do not have a daily routine, you will be all over the place. If you're all over the place, how do you think you're going to conduct yourselves in an environment that's volatile in the markets? Do you take the trade? Do you not? Do you stop? What do you do? There is no routine. It all starts with having that daily routine. All right, let's talk about mental strength. All right, we pointed that out before. Mental strength is defined as the ability to focus on and execute solutions when in the face of uncertainty. All right, if you hope and you dream and you wish to make money as a trader on a regular basis, you have to have the mental strength of a warrior, somebody that knows that they're going to be confronted by a whole bunch of obstacles, but they got the mental strength to battle those obstacles. All right, breaking it down, you need to focus on emotional discipline. Emotional discipline. All right, it is okay to be emotional. We will experience emotions. We will be happy, we will be sad, we will be depressed, we will be euphoric. We will have every emotion under the sun come flowing through our body at some point through our trading careers or through a single trade. If you know those emotions exist, what do? You contain and you control them. That is called emotional discipline. Right? Do not make decisions based on emotions. Mental strength, what I just discussed, the mental strength of a warrior. Can you imagine being out in a battlefield and having multiple guns being shot at you? You're being fired at. You don't know where these rounds are coming from. All you know is you're being shot at. Do you take charge of your emotions and become emotionally disciplined and stop, assess, figure out what your plan of attack is, and then execute? Or do you run around with your hands in the air, waving a white flag, saying, I give up, and then eventually, what happens is you end up dying or you blow an account. We don't want that, right? And you don't want that. So emotional discipline, very, very important when you start to trade, because I know for a fact there are plenty of you that have a million different emotions throughout one trade only. I can tell you, I deal with my emotions, and then I deal with every single one of you guys or your emotions that you guys come to me with throughout the trading week. And it's not, look, some of you know who you are, others don't, but that's okay. I don't mind. I will absorb. I am your pin cushion. Give me all that is that you need to give me, but you've got to understand that, if I can do it, if other people can do it, you can do it as well. Okay, take control, stop, breathe, walk away. Don't even stare at don't even look at your screen. Survival of the fittest in anything that we do. All right, if you don't have those survival abilities, how do you think you're going to get through anything in life? How do you think you're going to get through work? How do you think you're going to get through failed friendships? How do you think you're going to get through financial disasters that you may encounter? Survival. When survival mode kicks in, we as humans can do the unthinkable. All right, have that in the back of your mind. I need to have the survival factor. All right, anyone can come on board, anyone can do this, but the problem with a lot of people is they don't have the emotional discipline, they don't have survival skills, and they don't have the financial discipline. All right, financial discipline comes from controlling your money. Don't risk too much. Don't put too much in. Don't believe that you're going to be some sort of millionaire overnight. All right. Financial discipline is key. How do you believe or see yourself growing financially if you can't control your finances? If you are the sort of person that goes out and is easily tempted to just buy, you might have a problem with managing your finances. That's okay. Just know that it exists and try not to replicate that on your trading. Because going out and buying something might cost you $10, $15, $30, $40. Financial discipline applied in the trading world will allow you to stop your whole account from going, which in some cases could be thousands and thousands of dollars for some of us. So make sure you have that written down in the back of your mind somewhere, right? This is 3 very crucial and important factors that we need to take note of, and we need to find ways and methods to apply certain rules that are going to allow us to become emotionally disciplined, financially disciplined, and have those survival skills ready to be deployed if need be. If you want to succeed at trading, you have to be emotionally disciplined. Okay. Anyone that's gone through some sort of physical endurance exercises or have been tested, based on where you work and what you do, there are certain moments in life that, like these guys here, are forced to be in control. The weakest link here will give up. And that's not just physical discipline or strength, but there is a huge element here of emotion. All right. The first guy that gets up from here and leaves has no emotional discipline whatsoever. Obviously, he lacks in other aspects too, physical and strength, and being able to manage that mind, but he doesn't have the discipline to continue. How do you think that you're going to become successful if you don't have emotional discipline? You will not. I'll say it straight to you. You will not succeed. Period. You might have a couple of wins here, you have a couple of losses there. I've had times where it's been, day after day, week after week, I've lost. I wouldn't be sitting here today still trading if I didn't have my emotional discipline in check. Just walk away, take some time. Yes, be angry, be upset, be hurt. That's okay. Do all of those things, but don't do them on the screen while you trade. Do them when you're in the shower or when you're going for a walk. Do them somewhere else where you're not going to hurt yourself or anyone, or your account balance for that matter. Okay. All right, what this means is you cannot chase every single opportunity you see. Remember what I say, how many times have I said to you guys, not every opportunity is an opportunity, and you're not going to catch every single trade. That's not real. That's not physically possible. You cannot expect that you're going to catch every single trade. This is called conserving your limited risk capital for the high quality trade setups. What did I say today? I sent a message on the chat this week. We're not looking for how much money we can make, or we're not looking at the money. We're looking at the quality in the setups. I want high quality setups because I know if I get high quality setups, I'm going to make money. So stop trying to chase every single trade. You're not going to get them, and you're going to lose. And not every opportunity is an opportunity either. Be happy grabbing 3 or 4 trades. Some weeks we have 10 trades. Some weeks we have 20. Some weeks we have 3. What do we have last week? I think it was 12 or 13, something like that. And I couldn't sit here and tell you that I was going to get 13 trades or 12. I couldn't sit. All I know is what I see at that time. And if there's an opportunity and it presents and I tick all the boxes, then I add it to the list of trades that we've got for the week. But I don't go out there looking for how many trades. All right, this week I'm going to try and get 20. Some people come and say, how many trades do you give a week? How many meals do you eat a day? How many times do you go to the toilet? How many hours of sleep do you get? You can't tell me that, you eat every hour on the hour. You can't tell me that, I sleep every day. There are certain things that you just can't say happen every single day at every single time at the right time with the right numbers. It just doesn't work. So when it comes to trading, some weeks are going to be slow, some weeks are going to be fast, some weeks are going to be profitable, some weeks are not. Make sure you understand that. You must have the ability to focus on and execute your trading plan with extreme precision, even in the face of constant temptation. I know there's a lot of people that are tempted to trade today. I haven't even looked at my charts. I mean, I have, but not in that way. right? I haven't sat here looked for a setup. I know I'm wasting my time looking for a trade today. There's no point. I'm going to focus on something else. I've got other things to do. I'm busy. I've got to focus on that. I'm not going to focus on trying to look for something that I know is not going to give me the results that I want because I've seen it happen before. Stop. Understand. Maybe a specific date or a time isn't right to trade in. Don't do it. Have the discipline to say, no, I'm going to wait. Those results that we got last week, like I said, I didn't trade on Monday. There was no trading on Monday. That was Tuesday through to Friday. And we still made those results. I don't know how much more I can, express that, but I guess, each to their own, right? You guys are still going to do what you want to do. If you don't have the discipline or you lack that discipline, it's going to be a detriment to your success. Do not be tempted. The markets love to tempt us. They love to dangle sometimes what may appear to be a nice big break. And then all of a sudden, it turns around and it becomes what? A false break. Wait for price action. Wait for confirmation. Wait for confluence. Wait for everything to line up. And then take it. That comes down to patience. If you're patient, you will make money. Survival. Trading is not only for the genetically gifted in discipline and mental fortitude. So some people might sit back and say, yeah, but I wasn't born disciplined. Okay, cool, that's fine. You don't have to be. My mental abilities and capacities, I'm just not there. That's cool. You don't have to be. You can learn. You can practice. We're not all born to be professional soccer players. We're not all born to be professional rugby players. We're not all born to be pro traders either. But if you want to be a pro or you want to learn how to trade properly and make money, learn how to become disciplined and have that mental fortitude. Whilst some people may have an easier time with this, and it's obvious that that occurs, right? I myself, on most occasions, have an easier time than you, and I can admit that, and you guys know that. But that doesn't come from me being, a super cool forex lord trader, whatever title or rank you want to give me. It's come from experience. It's come from knowledge. It's come from exposure, and it's come from putting myself in situations where I've had to be forced to learn discipline. Anyone, if they want it enough, can develop the mental tools needed to become a consistently profitable trader. I lost so much money in my first year of trading. One of two things was going to occur. Either I was going to be like everybody else and add to the statistics and just keep throwing money in and doing the same thing over and over and over, or I was going to stop, practice discipline, build some mental fortitude, and then start to look at how much do I want it. I want it. I want it bad. Yeah, my brain is the sort of brain that says, if somebody else can do it, why can't I? Why are they different to me? We're all the same. They're doing something that I'm not. I want it bad. If I want it bad, nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to slow me down. The only thing that's going to stop me, the only thing that's going to slow me down is me. Excuse me. Financial discipline. Not only do you need to be disciplined with your trading plan and trading strategy, but you must also be disciplined when it comes to money management. And this means discipline in both risk and reward. How many times have I talked about risk reward, risk reward, risk reward? Risk 1.5%. Make sure your reward is 1.5 minimum. Yeah, 1 to 1.5, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, ideal. We have minimum levels of risk reward for a reason. That takes me into this financial discipline category. I'm now disciplined enough to manage my money. I'm doing the right thing. It's compounding, it's growing. I'm not increasing risk. I'm not over trading. I see a trade setup and it looks perfect and it's amazing and everything lines up. And I'm just about to hit the buy now button and realize that my risk reward is under what I expect my minimum should be, or my risk reward is not where I want it to be. I cancel that trade. I've shown you guys a few trades over the time now that have had bad risk reward, but the trade has still moved in our favor. We could sit back and say, oh, I could have made that. Yeah, absolutely, I could have made that. But all it takes is for you to have one losing trade doing that same thing, and then you end up repeating that process over and over and over again. And when you repeat that process over and over and over again, what happens? It becomes a habit. And when you fall into the habit of doing the wrong thing, you're going to do it all the time without thinking about it. It becomes second nature. When it becomes second nature to you and you lose, you're not losing because the strategy is bad. You're not losing because Forex trading is a scam. You're losing because you lack the financial discipline. You're putting in trades where your risk reward is not right. Do not expect the outcome to be right. State of mind. Let's talk about state of mind. Your state of mind, even when you are not in front of your charts or in front of the computer or thinking about the markets, plays an absolutely critical role in your ability to successfully trade in the markets. Your state of mind includes self-control and self-confidence. All right. How can you have that solid state of mind if you lack self-control and lack self-confidence? We need to be in control. When do I trade? Why do I trade at that time? Is it the right time to trade? I'm sticking to my plan. All my boxes are ticked. I don't feel good, I'm getting up. I feel amazing, I'm still getting up. Control. Self-confidence. I'm not too confident, but I'm confident enough to place a trade. I'm confident in my ability. I'm confident in knowing that my strategy works. I'm confident that my assessment and my analysis is great. I'm not overconfident thinking that I know everything about the markets because I've done a course and I watch live trading sessions and I've got a couple of tools. No. Pull yourself back down from that overconfidence category. Come back down to a level of just being confident and have that ability to make that call. I am executing. I am not executing. I'm confident. And I think I've said it on a number of occasions, actually, when I place a trade, I go, I'm now confident enough to take this trade. Look, there's always going to be an element of, will it work? There's always going to be that. In every single trade we place, we always think about the what ifs. But I've covered my what ifs when I've done my assessment. And when I do my assessment and everything lines up, then I can sit back and say, all right, I'm confident now. That's not overconfidence. That's me saying I am confident based on A, B, C, D, E. And then I move on. Self-control. Typically, people who have high levels of self-control in other areas of their lives make good traders. All right, this isn't just about having self-control in the markets, but this is just in general. If you have high levels of self-control, you will be a good trader. I'm sure some of us here fall to some of our inabilities to have self-control in situations. That's, it happens. We're humans, right? We're not robots. But practice it. Even myself, I've got moments where, I lack self-control in certain things. But after it happens, I've got to take a step back and say, all right, I need to adjust. All right. You're not going to be a winner in life if you say, I'm good at that. All right. you're not good at it. You failed, or the outcome's a negative one because of that particular reason. And you need to stop, assess, adjust, and then move on. If you are someone who is very disorganized or otherwise lacking in major forms of self-control, you will need to fix this if you want to make money trading. You know what? It comes from simply just making your bed in the morning. All right. Organized people wake up, make your bed. I know I sound like your mum or your dad now, but unfortunately, this is where discipline comes from: being organized, waking up, going to work on time, delivering what you need to deliver at work on time, sticking to what you say, doing what you say you're going to be doing. Be organized in life, not in just clothes and folding your clothes and making your bed, but organization in general. If you're disorganized, where do you start? Where do you end? Where do you go? You're going straight down to where all the other failed traders are. Self-confidence. You must have self-confidence to make money as a trader. There is no room for self-doubt and hesitation in the markets. If you hesitate or have self-doubt, go to a demo. The demo will help you become confident. You might not think it will, but it does, because it's at least removing the financial aspect and forcing you to focus on how to trade. If you lose, you can't be upset. You've lost nothing. You've gained a lesson. That is, don't trade like that again. If you win, fantastic. You've also learned a lesson. You must act like you're already a winner, even though you're not yet there. This is the only way to ever get there. If I sit there and think that I'm a loser, or I sit there and think, man, this is hard, I'm not getting it, guess what you're telling yourself? You're telling yourself you're not going to get it. Start to manifest these things. Believe it or not, but when you put stuff out there into the world, into the universe, the energy that you're putting out there, it's going to come back, okay? And when it comes back, it's going to deliver it to you in the way that you want it to be delivered. And that's in the form of success. So if I'm looking at a trader that is a successful trader, and he's telling me this, or he's telling me that, or she's telling me do this, whatever it may be, and I don't follow it, then I'm not acting like a winner, nor then am I going to ever think like them either. Yes, it's going to be difficult on some occasions, but put it out there. I will win because that's my goal. All right, so let's have a look at specific qualities here. Mindset. Let's talk about this. Business trading should be viewed as and treated as a business. All right, your trading plan should also be your business strategy in the markets. I've said this from the beginning. All right, when we trade, we are running a business. All right, when we look at viewing our trading as a business, we will act like as if we are running a business, and we will make the right choices for the best interest of the business. Why have a business make amazing decisions and choices for the best interests of the business, but then come to trading and just start being an erratic gambler? Your business will succeed, but your trading won't. And then instead of sitting back and saying, okay, I've done the wrong thing, you say, that's no good. I don't want to go down that path anymore because it's manipulated, it's a scam, it's whatever comes to your mind at the time that's going to make you justify the reason why you lost everything that you did. Process. It should include things like the overall style you're trading. All right, so you've got specific rules, you've got strategies, you've got plans. I've given you all of those things. Examples of ideal setups. We have a section there that's got trade ideas posted. The example of the trade idea is there. You can see it. You can see the chart. We can see why. Risk management plans. We know that we have risk management in place, 1.5%. We know what we're doing. We stick to that. Stop loss placement strategies, profit target placement strategies. That comes with the strategy itself. Where does my TP go? Where does my stop loss go? Why does it go there? It goes there because of this, or it goes there because of that. Whatever your trading strategy is, guys, you need to reinforce it on a regular basis, all right? So that it becomes a part of a winning trader's mindset. Belief. You must truly believe in your ability and in your trading strategy. Like I said to you guys, I have on every single trade that I've put in, whether it becomes a winner or a loser, I believe that my assessment is accurate. I believe that my strategy will work. I believe that the application of what I have done is on point. Why should I put myself in a non-believing state of mind? If I'm uncertain or I'm unsure, I will assess again. I've done assessments with you guys live where I place a trade, actually not even place it. We get to the, that point of just about ready to being putting it on and placing it, to then saying, okay, stop, I'm not taking that. Now, some people can perceive that as being, oh, what's happened? Well, he doesn't know what he's doing. Or some people can say, all right, you know what? He's seen something. He's realized it now. He's probably missed it in his, initial assessment, and he's believed that this could potentially be something that's crucial. So he says, I'll stop. He believes in his assessment. Hesitation. There is no room for hesitation. If you want to succeed long-term in the market, do not hesitate. Do not be afraid. Do not be scared. If you are hesitating, go to a demo. This is the only platform, the demo platform, that you can use that's going to make you guys build up that ability to become more confident. All right, because one of the biggest things and most key factors that comes out of a demo is that you don't have an emotional attachment to the money. It's just a set of numbers. So all you do at that point is you focus and practice on the process. Overconfidence. Do not get overly confident, as too much confidence can be and will be detrimental to your success. All right, we don't want to be cocky. We want to be confident. We want to know what we're doing, but we don't want to be putting ourselves in a situation where we go, oh yeah, I know exactly what's going. Yeah. Look, last week I made heaps of money. Last week I'm great. No, every day's a new day. Every trade's a new trade. Every week's a new week. I take the time out on the weekend to unwind. I don't look at charts. You don't look at any of that. And then I come Monday and I say, all right, now we're reset. Forget about last week. It's done. It's in the past now. Focus on this week. What's happening this week? What data releases are coming up? What do my charts look like? Am I able to apply myself? Am I trading at the right time? What's happening around me? I'm not overconfident. I'm not going to sit here and say to you guys, I'm great and I'm amazing. That's going to put me in that overconfidence category. If I'm good at what I do, just know that you are able to do it, and try and have that same mindset when you did it. That way you can do it again. But don't say I'm great and completely forget about where your mind was at that time, what you did. It's not about you being a great person. It's about you applying yourself in a certain way. And if you can replicate that application and that process, then it's going to continuously deliver you with the results that you want. You should be able to easily tell someone else what your daily trading routine looks like, and you should have designated times for analyzing the markets each day. This is why I have certain times of the day that I do live sessions. This is why I say, guys, don't really need too much of an analysis during the day. Australian, Asian sessions, pretty quiet, not much going on. Maybe wait just a little bit before London, come on and have a look. Why do you need to sit there all day? It's okay to have an obsession. I'm obsessed, but it doesn't mean I sit here all day trying to, you know, dissect every candle at the moment the candle's occurring. Make sure you have a routine. Make sure you know what times of the day you're assessing. Stick to it. Don't be erratic. Don't try and start to trade at random odd hours. There are certain times that are great. There are certain times that are not so great. The value and power of a structured daily trading routine cannot be emphasized enough. If it didn't work, we wouldn't have daily routines in general. Why wake up and go to work at 9? I'll just call my boss and say, hey, champion, I'm coming in at 11. That's not what you can't do that. Maybe some of us are lucky enough to be able to do that. I don't know how your jobs have got you lined up, but you know, in general, right, you've got a daily routine. You need to adhere to that daily routine. Why? Because it works. If it didn't work, you wouldn't be doing it. You would find another routine. Repetition, by the way of routine, is how we form habits, and habits either make us or break us. And I said that earlier on. Yeah, if you become a habit of doing the wrong thing with risk reward, for example, believe me, you will do it forever. All right, even when you're saying, oh, look, I'm going to try and stop, you can tell yourself that you're going to try and stop, but until you actually start to become habitual in doing things the right way, believe me, you're not. It's just the way the human operates. Winning traders think differently and act differently. There's a reason why they are winners. Their days are more planned and structured than those who are not. So you want to be unsuccessful? Have a very unstructured day. Have a very unstructured business plan, trading plan, and just be somebody that's disorganized. You'll get the result you want. Winning traders are not easily distracted from their end game and the long-term prize. Anyone that achieves success in any industry, any job, any business that we do is not easily distracted from their end game. They know where they're headed. They've got tunnel vision focus. They know what they want. Nothing gets in their way. Have that same approach to trading. When you're there and you're on the charts and you're looking and you're assessing, tunnel vision. Nothing around you, nothing behind you, nothing in front of you. The dog's barking, who cares? Let the dog bark. The kid's crying, maybe check up on the kid, but then come straight back. Yeah. So just make sure that you have that focus, all right? My camera seems to keep playing up a little bit. Camera doesn't have focus. I'm going to end up throwing it out. It's starting to become a little bit disorganized. It's lacking the discipline to keep me in focus, all right? So we don't want to end up being like this camera and getting launched out, right? Because if we want to succeed in this game, you need to have a look at that end game result and the long-term prize. All right, the long-term prize is what? I want to be a full-time trader, or I want to be a trader that makes, I want to supplement my income, or I want to have an additional income, whatever it may be. You know the end game, you know the prize. How do you get there? If you know it and it's there in front of you, there's got to be a path that you take. Yeah. If I tell you there's a river that you need to cross, that section there is deep and that section there is shallow, but you need to cross that river. If you pick the shallow side, you know the end game, you know where you're headed, you know that's going to be the path that you should take. If you go down the deep end, hopefully you know how to swim, but you could be in a very losing situation there. All right. They have long-term and short-term goals, and they write them all out. All right, write out your goals. What do you want? Why do you want it? How do you achieve it? This is my short-term goal. This is my long-term goal. I want to be at this point by this time. I want to be making this much by that time, or I want to be having a certain win rate by that time. You know, have these goals and aim to achieve them. If you don't, find out why, and then work it out. But at least have something to strive for. All right, one key component, or one of the key components to developing a winning trader's mindset, is keeping yourself accountable. We need to be accountable, all right? Do not blame anybody else. Do not blame anyone other than yourself. I post up my results and I post up my trades for a reason, because when I make the call to close a trade and it's a winner, I'm going to show you that it's a winner. If you haven't been able to close it out because you're not there, or you haven't made the live session, or you haven't been awake, or you've had something else, don't blame me, blame yourself. Be accountable for the fact that you didn't make those changes when you should have. And, you know, unfortunately, we're in a 24-hour market. I sometimes make calls at 3 in the morning. I don't sleep. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But what I'm saying is that if I'm not there, or you're not around, or I've given an update, or something's occurred, you need to be well informed, or informed enough to the point where you can also make a decision if you need to do it. That way you're accountable. If you take the trade, if somebody posts a trade and you take it, or if you put your own trade on, from that point that you've placed that on, you're accountable for it. Luckily enough, I give updates. Luckily enough, we do them together. But there are some times where people can't make the updates because they're not here, or they're busy, or I can't control what you do. I can only control what I do, and I can only control what I give out to the community. Have a level of accountability, all right? Because if you are accountable, you will make sure that you do the right thing. You must be accountable to something. That something is your trading plan and your trading routine. I've given you a set of boxes. Tick them. They're there. You've got the online academy. You've got the strategies. You've got the tools. You've got the live sessions. You've got every box that needs to be ticked. You are now accountable for making sure that you tick all the boxes. Even when I do an assessment, and you need to learn this in future, because as our community grows, as we have other mentors, as we have other people post trade ideas, are we going to be certain that every single trade idea posted is accurate? No, we're not. We're not. Somebody could post a trade idea right now. Do we all take it? We need to assess it. I'm accountable for my own actions. Thank you for giving me the trade idea. Let me now go have a look at it. If it doesn't work for me, I'm not taking it. That's how you become professional. That's how you become profitable, and that's how you become successful. You need a trading plan, a tangible one, not something that is in the brain. You don't just sit there and say, yep, it's in my brain, I've got it. Make sure it's written down or printed out. You've got the videos there, so it is already saved as some form. But if you don't remember some of the steps, stop, pause, write it down. Have it there. A journal. You need a trading journal. This is where you log your trades and the details of every single one of those trades. Why do we have a journal? Because we're running a business. When we run a business, we need to know what our incomings and outgoings are. We need to know our expenses. We need to know how we're doing for the week or for the month. You have a trading journal in the members area. Download it, use it. It's only for you. It's all part of the mindset. It's all part of discipline. It's all part of making sure you're doing things correctly. Your money's on the line. Do you go work for an employer without signing a contract? No. You're still doing the same thing. You're making money. You sign a contract. It's got rules on it. You adhere to those rules. Your contract is here. Trading plan. Part of your contract is a journal. You want to make money? The markets will pay you. But you've got to have a system. And you've got to stick to it. Discipline. By doing all of this that we've seen here and everything that we've discussed already, you will stay accountable, and staying accountable helps you maintain discipline. When you're accountable for something, you are then disciplined enough to say, okay, I can't do it. A lot of us lack the accountability, So then what happens is we lack the discipline. When we lack the discipline, we don't do it correctly. And when we don't do it correctly, what happens? We lose money. And when we lose money, we've got nobody to blame but ourselves. So the most important things here, guys, the things that we need to take away from this is obviously self-control, self-discipline. Make sure you've got that attitude of being in survival mode, financial discipline, all of these things that we've discussed in terms of how to apply ourselves as a professional trader needs to be adhered to. This presentation hasn't been delivered just so we can talk about, the importance of discipline, but it's to shape you guys. It's to give you guys a way to now carry yourselves, and not just in the markets, but from day to day. All right, because if you can carry yourself with that right mindset, every single thing that you do will be spot on. The wrong mindset, you will fail very, very quickly. I know what I do works. If I know what I do works and it doesn't work for you, you're doing something wrong. And if you're doing something wrong, you got to stop and assess, where am I going wrong? Once you've assessed where you're going wrong, make those changes, make those amendments, and then continue moving. All right. You will have bad days, you will have good days, but just have that self-control, emotional discipline, financial discipline, all in one. All right. Be accountable, log your trades, make sure you've got that journal and that trading plan. Stick to it. Make sure you're organized. Make sure you have a day routine, day-to-day routine, a trading routine. Do not be influenced or persuaded by anybody else. People will post trade ideas. People will give you opinions and views. Why is their opinion or view better than yours? If you need to, watch this video again, pick out the important parts of it, write them down, have them written, and eventually it will become second nature. All right. If you need anything in terms of specific questions, you guys know where to go.